like and subscribe. Younger people of Reddit, what are you tired of hearing from older generations? Go to school, get a job, get married, have kids, retire, then die. Literally any and all job advice. Sorry, Deborah, but you've worked the same unionized position for 30 plus years. The number of valuable insights you can give me about the modern labor landscape numbers somewhere between diddly and squat. And Hank literally drops the walk downtown handing out resumes and shaking hands line without awareness or irony. My mom and I got into a fight over housing affordability. Your father, 55, and I, 53, worked very hard to afford this house, $175k, and you make more than we did at the time we bought, 1992. The house now is worth about 5 meters. My mom didn't work, and my dad made 100k/year. I make 150k and houses in my price range are 600k 1 hour plus away from where I want to be, and less than half size with less than half the lot. Anything to the effect of young people can't have back pain, or any other physical disability. Like, dude, I wish being in my 20s made me immune to being injured. But that's literally just not how the human body works. As a 29-year-old, tired of older people telling me I'll understand joint pain, tiredness when I am older. I am disabled and chronically ill. I have had bad joints since birth. Like it is great that all your health problems are a result of your age, but mine have been around, and will worsen because of that. I have more life experience than oil row vertical bar then proceeds to go on an emotionally stunted rant based on their own personal bias due to trauma they refuse to process because they know best. 34. I'm sick of hearing about how young people just spend all their time on TikTok. How they have stupid dances. How they are just staring at screens all day, blah blah blah. Yes, they do all that stuff, but we had stupid dances when we were younger. We sat in front of the TV all day. I've yet to see someone with square eyes. Also, hearing about how kids/young people today have no respect for their elders. MS were doing the same. That people today are doing now. The difference is, everyone has a camera in their pocket. I'm 44, but I still feel like I'm young. I'm tired of hearing pretty much everything my generation says. I don't understand when everybody else just suddenly morphed into their parents. Yeah, I've run into that too. It's kinda horrifying, isn't it? A few years ago I had some acquaintances who are a couple of years younger than me. Lying about those lazy millennials, by which they really meant Gen Z, and how immoral they are, and how we had it harder back in the day. Like most of us did. Life in the 80s and 90s was simpler and calmer than now, and we had a lot more advantages and less chaos than the generations that came after us. No one wants to work anymore. First of all, no one ever wanted to work. That's why it's called work, and not fun. Second of all, maybe it's that no one wants to work at your job that lists itself as entry level, but wants 5 years of experience and a master's degree along with being able to work 12-hour days at minimum wage. When you're older you'll agree with me. FFS, just because you're older doesn't mean you're always right or that you know the answers to all my life's problems. You grew up in a different time period, with different problems, and different social views. Your problems might be similar, and you might be right some of the time, but that is no excuse to shut down every logical point I make against your beliefs with this line. When I was your age, I already had 5 kids and 2 grandchildren, or my granddaughter is your age and she already has 3 kids. When are you going to give your mom some grandkids? I'm 30. Not that old, not that young. But this kind of comment? Definitely old for me. I'm so tired of older ladies saying this. I think I wasn't even 18 when they started. They don't accept any reasonable answer that isn't a rhyme working on it. A maybe later, or I'm doing my best to get a steady career before having kids, or we are saving. Gets them on a rampage saying some BS about kids not costing a thing, and that I'm getting old, or that women were born to be mothers, or whatever. So I started being rude. Sorry, but not sorry. Depending on how aggressive/rude they get, you can throw out replies that break people's conventional autopilot responses. We are just practicing right now, but thanks for your concern. Nobody wants to work. I swear if I hear that one time I'm going to scream. Edit. I should have said nobody wants to work anymore. Did we ever? Just less so now with all the abuse. Yeah, they're right. The 20+ jobs I applied to in the past year that I'm qualified to do and wasn't hired at really shows just how much I don't want to work. They're so judgmental and rude. I'm a restaurant worker, and I swear young people are way more polite and easygoing, while older people have zero patience, even though they're the ones who are already retired, oftentimes make racist, sexist, homophobic and body-shaming comments and still act like they are above the younger generation simply because they've been alive for longer. The respect they demand after such behavior is wild as well. Stop eavesdropping. I'm not eavesdropping, you're just talking loud, because you're deaf and I'm not. My father, you only overheard me from the other room. You don't know what I'm actually talking about. Me, I know exactly what you're talking about because I can hear you on the other side of the house. Just had someone the other day ask me, so why aren't you married? I'm like, if I met someone worth marrying, then I would. Best response to this is supply chain issues. I'm tired of people complaining about how younger people are terrible, as though they weren't the ones that raised those younger people to be what they are. These millennials and their participation trophies, Uber, were the ones handing them out. They weren't giving them to themselves as children. How we can't fix anything ourselves. Then promptly ask us to fix their Wi-Fi, set up their new phone and figure out why their computer is running slow. We can do plenty, we just have a different skill set. No joke, my dad did this time me. I didn't know how to change my tire on my car at 18. He never showed me, complained about it, and told me to figure it out. Not 10 minutes later his Wi-Fi went out, and asked me to fix it. I told him to figure it out. No one wants to work, we want to work, just not for poverty wages. When I think about it, I don't want to work. I have to work. \**SAD face. When I was your age we never talked to coloreds, or went to their neighborhoods. Edit. Wow, I guess I am not the only one who likes to make fun of old-timey racism. Or it really is part of the alt-right pipeline. Realistically I come here to remind myself that others, not just my grandparents, acting kinda crazy these days. I hate how we've gone from me getting Facebook as a teenager and my parents being like, don't believe everything you see on the internet, to them sending me medical research from unverified/unreputable sources. And then get all why when we fact check it. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. \my parents, when I was a teenager in the late 90s. Now I have to tell my parents that. Pull yourself up by your bootstraps and work harder. Buddy, I have been working 60+ hours a week and prices keep going up, and my pay is not, and I actually cannot afford to change jobs, change my living situation, buy a more fuel efficient car, or go to college. There actually is no out. There is no work harder and I'll make it. I am literally in the poverty trap. I am slowly making my way out of it, but it is going to be a long time unless some other opportunity magically appears. College ice known at the price of a McDouble or old man. College ice known at the price of a McDouble or old man. Remember when they used to say your mortgage should never be more than 15% of your salary? Lol. Anyone at that age, where they don't know if they can qualify as a younger or older person of Reddit. You are mid-30 years millennial too. The first thing I thought when I opened the thread was I am going to be the old guy here. You kids had it so easy growing up and now your kids have it easier than that. That's the point. We are supposed to make it easier for the next generation. Edit, I should add that boomers and Gen Zers say this stuff yet it isn't easier. Life is hard and expensive because they ruined it. And they continue to ruin it, but call us lazy because it's beyond our power and ability to fix. Nah bro, the boomers got it right. Light the entire country on fire and cash out before you leave. Die. That way everyone has to fight a megacorp just to get a house. Bonus points are for the infrastructure your parents built. Greatest generation completely falls apart just as you're no longer driving. 10/10ths boomerang to take something that was set up for them and not maintain it for the next generation. I'm 55. I still get tired of my parents telling me to find a good church home. What does this even mean? What is a church home? You've been visited by the ghost of a very important man. Pay your respects by liking and subscribing, and he'll grant you 3 weeks of good luck.